Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. And I said before, I've said in other ones, like the whole point of these is so you can find the artist or the deck if you want it. So if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize, but that's the whole point. The Supportive Oracle Cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle Cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen. There's her last name. And again, like if you want to find more stuff by the artist or the creator or the deck itself, that's why that's there. Okay, good. Scorpio. I do think this is going to go well. You're dealing with somebody that's something, that's for sure. Is there one more? Okay, are we done with that? I think so. Oh. Okay. I think this is going to be another one of those where the way it ends, you probably like the way it ends. There's they were going on a trip here. We're going on a trip. The environment is just really, whatever you're dealing with, it's wacky. It's like, I'm going to start with your side first. Or not your side. Should I? No. I'm going to start with the other side first, because this is the energy you're dealing with. Trickery, confusion, and what's that last one? Gossip. Which I feel like most of you are going to be like, you know what? That doesn't sound so great. That doesn't sound so great. This is in the environment. A lot of trickery, gossip, confusion. I don't think this is one person. This one might be. The trickery might be one person. But confusion and gossip is like, there's a lot of hubbub going on here, and it's kind of like, it's all out of whack. There's a lot of confusion going on here. A lot of nuts. None of nut crazy stuff. You have your balancing cards, or how you're reacting to this, I should say, if this is going to be hitting for you. You've got wisdom, service, and rejection. Kind of like, that's a crazy thing. That's Crazy Town over there. And I'm not taking a trip to Crazy Town today, so sorry, I'm stepping out. And if you're talking to like a friend or a family member who's like getting all upset about it, you're like, listen, it's all a mess. If you can, I would back off or step out for a while, because I'm personally stepping out because I don't see how this can go any better right now. It's got to settle down a bit. Maybe some people have to fix their own problems. Maybe it's one of those situations. Because you got the wisdom here. You're just kind of like, oh no, they're going to pull me in, and no. It's kind of like, if I get pulled into this, it's going to drive me crazy. For some of you, I feel like the first thing you're thinking is, if I get pulled into this, they're going to make me look like the bad guy. I'm not about it. I'm not about it. I like helping. I'm willing to help, but I'm not going to get in there and help just to have it thrown in my face. I don't think so. I'm stepping out. I feel like you're stepping out. Even though service is there, it's right with rejection. I'm not going to help just to get it thrown in my face. I'm not going to do it. And I feel like I'm going to back off until it kind of simmers down a bit. And it's going to need to before I have anything to do with this. In between you and the situation, you got prayer, which in this situation is kind of like prayer. Like, you could literally pray. That's cool, whatever. But I feel like it's kind of like, pay attention and don't let things get under your skin. Realize that there's a lot of confusion here and people getting upset. Try to detach. I feel like you're smart to detach. And telling other people just kind of like, we need to step back, let things settle a bit. People are getting upset. People are saying things they don't really mean. Let's step back, let it settle. Because there is a troublemaker. In the whole situation, there is a troublemaker. Because the trickery's here, and I'm feeling like there is a troublemaker. Alright, so that's how we're starting with this. How lovely. It goes really good, I'm telling you, it does. You step out, and that... See, I do feel like you're going to step out. For those of you this is going to hit with, you're really going to step out. That like puts a kink in somebody's plans. This person with the trickery feel here, you stepping out, like they thought they were going to have a chance to manipulate you. And you're like, well, not today. And you stepped out. Like, we're not even going to go that. We're not even going to go that route. We're not even going to go that route. I'm getting out. I'm not playing. You know? You can't cheat if I don't play. Like, Or if you do cheat, you can cheat with somebody else. I don't care. If I'm not playing, I don't care what you do. And I feel like that's the energy. You're like, nope, you're not gonna pull me into anything. Nope, not gonna do it because I'm out. That puts a kink in somebody's plans. Like they were gonna manipulate. They were hoping to manipulate you. Is what I'm really getting. I know that sounds rotten, but that's what I'm getting. You're not playing. They can't do it. That causes problems for them. I don't think it's bad, but I think it causes problems for them. It puts a big kink in their plans. They don't know what to do. They literally don't know what to do because they were counting on you being involved, and there was something they wanted from you, and they were counting on you being involved. And the fact that you're not, they can't make this go forward. This is a manipulative person. Like the fact that you're not willing to play really causes problems for them. I'm not feeling bad about it, and I really don't think you should either. Their plans are kind of failing. Maybe if they were a little bit more honest, that wouldn't be a problem. I'm just saying. But whatever. Whatever. It's just like they're failing. They're upset. You're gonna notice this because they're gonna start freaking out and they're gonna try to like guilt you into being a part of the situation. I still don't see you falling for it. I don't see you falling for it. Guilt's not gonna work here. I just don't see you falling for it. I just don't. And at the very least, if you're coming to this reading and somebody's pulling a guilt trip and you're considering it, maybe this is why this reading is coming to you, saying, do not fall for it. Do not. Are you? I don't think you're falling for it. I do see renewal on your side, but the way it's coming in, I feel like you're like, well, you really need my help? Not with what's going on there. That's going to have to calm down. That's going to have to calm down a lot. So, I mean, I'm not going to run in here and do all this crazy stuff. No. Things got to calm down. And things are going to be on the level, and there's not going to be any secrets. We all have to come together. We all have to just know where we all stand, decide what we all want together, and I'll be on board with that. But none of this, talk to one person now, talk to one person later, secrets, what's going on there, what's going on. No, we're gonna settle it all down. We're gonna boil it down to its base. We're gonna deal with what the problem is, and we're all gonna agree how to handle it. I'm not playing the games. So the renewal is like, all right, I'm not playing your game. I'm not gonna get sucked into this with guilt. But if you really need me, we're gonna do it on my terms, and we're going to settle the whole thing. We're gonna come right to the point with what the problem is. We're gonna go face to face with people, and we're gonna calm it all down. And then we're going to reconstitute it the way I say it should be done. So you got isolation and you got faith. And this is crossing. So I don't feel like people are all by themselves, and I don't feel like you're off all by yourself, because this is coming into the middle. I feel like you're singling out what the problem is. You're isolating what the problem is. And you're giving people a chance to explain how they're feeling and what they're seeing. And it's all like, I feel like it's like really just like, let's deal with, what are the facts? It's kind of like people are going crazy, like, oh, this happened and that person did this and I did that. All right, let's do this. When it originally started, what day was that? Wednesday. All right, so it was Wednesday. So that was the 16th, right? Okay, it was the 16th. What time did it happen? I don't know. All right, do you have any idea about what time? No, I don't know. All right, so we think this happened on the 16th, but you don't know what time something happened. What is it that we think might have happened on the 16th? And it's like you're drilling it down, like, all right, we think this happened on the 16th, but we don't know what time, and what is it that we think happened? And why do we think that happened? Like, you're like starting to really pick apart the gossip. You're dismantling the gossip. You're like, all right, so this is what everybody thinks happened? Everybody? And why? Is there a Facebook post? Did somebody pick up somebody else? Did somebody flat out see it? And if somebody flat out saw something, who was it? Because we need to hear directly from them what they actually saw. You're dismantling this. You're isolating what the actual problem is, and you're taking it apart. You're like, well, take this out. Nope, we don't know. That's just somebody's feelings. They got upset about something they heard, but we don't have any proof that happened. So I understand them getting upset about that. But if that didn't even happen, there's nothing for them to actually be upset about. And you're like peeling it apart. Like, let's get down to the root here. What really happened? What really happened? This is unraveling really fast, and this person with the trickery, oh, they don't like it. I'm kind of surprised that this is a reading coming. No, you're dismantling it. They don't like it because you're taking away all of their power. All of their power. You're taking all of it away. But that's the trickery card. They have power as long as they have people at each other's throats and they're tricking people. Well, maybe not at each other's throats. Let's not be over dramatic, I guess. But as long as people don't know exactly what's going on, they have power over people to manipulate them and get what they want out of people. But when you take that away, and you're like, we're going to boil this down to the truth, and it's like, well, that wasn't really happening to begin with, so I know you're upset, and I understand you being upset if that happened, but guess what? There's nothing here saying, there's no proof that that actually happened. So let's go back to the horse's mouth and find out what did happen. You're dismantling the whole situation. That person is losing completely their power. I got the quest here on your side. Kind of like, all right, you're not impressed with the whole situation. Not so much the people involved, but like as you keep dismantling it, you're figuring out who this person was. And I don't know if you're figuring out why they were doing what they were doing, but you're like, oh, that's not okay. Like somebody was playing games here. You're seeing it. You're putting it in perspective. Like, well, who did you hear that from? And you're hearing a lot of the same name, is what I'm getting. You're figuring out who was playing the games. You're figuring it out. They are not getting what they wanted out of the situation. That's the Eight of Cups is kind of like you've dismantled this. They could literally still try to make things work out the way they want to. They just gotta kind of be on the level about it. But I'm getting embarrassment is getting them to walk away. The situation, they could still get what they wanted out of it is kind of what I'm getting. But they're embarrassed is what I'm getting. So they're kind of walking away. And I'm getting like they're really upset about it. They got the Three of Swords. Like somebody's really upset. Like I don't really see you calling them out, but it's kind of obvious is what I'm getting, what was going on here. And they're embarrassed and they're just kind of like skulking away. Like, I just kind of want to disappear. I just want to kind of like disappear into a little hole. I don't want people to see me. I don't want people to look at me because I'm kind of embarrassed that I got called out. Even though nobody literally is calling them out, they're feeling like they did. They're feeling like somebody did, anyway. You're just moving on from it. You got the Seven of Swords here, kind of like, well, I think it's kind of obvious. I don't think I need to say anything. I just feel like you're kind of like, well, why ever that person was doing it, I'm just trying to see if you can focus on that so you can see that card in case you'd like to. I'm over it. Moving forward. You're just not going to waste your time on it, is what I'm getting. It's like, it's kind of obvious what happened. You're not the only person that knows what actually happened. You're just not going to highlight it. You're just kind of like, well, it's obvious. There's no point. The wheel turns in your favor. You become the emperor. To whatever this situation is, you're on top of the world with it. I don't know how else to say this. Like, you're in a position where people are kind of looking at you with a lot of respect because you dismantled the problem. And you got a lot of abundance coming afterwards. I really feel like it's the way you handled this situation, just to be fair. Because I don't see you really singling anybody out. Because you don't need to. And you're just kind of like, it's kind of like, somebody like took on too much, they picked up too much out of the car, tried to carry it towards the house, and they dropped it all. And you kind of went, and you and a couple people picked it up and took it in the house, but you're not going to point out that they dropped it all. It's quite obvious. It got cleaned up. Let's just move on. And people are really gravitating towards you because of it. You're getting a lot of respect for this. I don't think it wasn't like your goal, but you just kind of like, there's no need to point this out. And you're the one who took it apart and said, this is what's actually happening. You didn't point out about anybody saying falseness. You didn't point out any of the false whatever is going on here. You just said, listen, of all this, let's move us away. That's what's actually happening. Now what? People know what was going on. I feel like people know what was going on. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of respect for you after this. And things go well. I mean, the abundance card is like a good thing, a really good thing. Like, it's really good. I don't know what I'm supposed to say about it. I think I'm done, actually. Because the energy's kind of like dying, and I'm like, is there something else? I don't really feel like there's anything else. It's going to end well. I feel like that ends very well. All right. I'm going to shut that down there. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.